Today I will be giving my persuasive speech on gun control and whether or not it is effective. Do you think the US should have gun control to reduce crime? Murder rate is a big problem in the US, and many people debate on whether or not gun control can help solve it. I believe this information is essential because gun control is a big topic and debated a lot between the political parties. Most Democrats taking the gun control side and Republicans being against gun control. Today I'll be persuading you on the crime and deaths from guns, self-defense with guns and reasons for owning a gun, and the types of people that commit crimes with guns. I think you should stand up for gun rights by contacting your local representatives and discussing our rights that are in the Second Amendment. First, I will be describing the crime and deaths from guns. According to gun control, roughly 16,500 murders were committed in the US during 2016. Of these, about 12,000 or 73% were committed with firearms. The problem is not the magazines for mass shootings. Eliminating high-capacity magazines is not the solution because it only takes 2 to 4 seconds to reload a gun, and you could have multiple other magazines. A 1993 national survey of about 5,000 households found that over the previous 5 years, at least 0.5% of households had members who used a gun for defense during a situation in which they thought almost certainly they would have been killed if they didn't have a gun to protect themselves. According to Malcolm, mass killings are very rare, accounting for only 0.2% of homicides every year and approximately 1% of homicide victims. Only 12% of mass killings are public mass shootings. Next, I will be talking about self-defense and reasons why you would own a gun. According to Gun Control, the article, the United States had a population of 319 million in 2014. Roughly 371 million firearms were owned by US citizens and law enforcement in 2014. More than 2/3 of gun owners cite protection as a major reason for owning a gun. The police cannot protect everyone all the time. 61% of men and 56% of women surveyed by Pew Research said the stricter the gun controls were, it would make them harder, more difficult for people to protect their homes and families. Hunting animals is also another reason why someone might carry a gun or own a gun, or protecting your livestock or farm predators from such as bears, coyotes, and other animals. According to procon.org, in 2011 there were 13.7 million hunters 16 years or older in the US, and they spent $7.7 billion on guns, sights, ammo, and other equipment. And 32% of gun owners own guns for hunting and 7% own them for target or sport shooting. If guns are outlawed, only criminals will have guns, and that's a dangerous combination because citizens won't be able to defend themselves if they don't have a gun. The criminals that commit gun crimes. Around 60% of mass shooters have been diagnosed with a mental disorder. Nearly 80% of homicide criminals have had a criminal record in the past. According to Gun Control article, a 2004 study of state prisoners who possessed guns during crimes for which they were jailed found that the guns were obtained from these sources. 40% of the criminals got their guns off the streets or illegally. 37.4% through their family or friends. 7.3% at a retail store. 2.6% at a pawn shop. 0.8% at a gun show, and 0.6% at a flea market. Many crimes occur from gang-related battles too. The average age of a mass shooter is 34 years old, so raising the gun age would not help in a lot of cases for shootings. Guns are also not the only reason for mass killings. There are many mass killings throughout the world without guns, such as poisoning, running people over, using bombs, stabbing, and arson. Gun control does not always work. Many people can obtain guns from a family member or off of the street, and they don't even have to buy it from a gun store to get a background check. Gun control does not always help eliminate shooters either. Mexico has a very strict law on buying guns. Mexico has a higher murder rate than the US, and the drug cartels are a main problem in that, and they are bad, and they get their weapons illegally and kill innocent people who don't have a gun to defend themselves with. So if they had more gun control, those people might not be able to defend themselves with the guns they might not have. Now that I've educated you on the main points of gun control, by listing statistics on the crimes due to guns, some of the reasons people own guns, and finally reporting the people who are committing the most crimes with them. Now that I have persuaded you on gun control and that it will not help reduce crimes, please take this into consideration. In order to protect our Second Amendment, you will need to be willing to contact your local representatives for help, and to get rid of gun laws that are being proposed to restrict our gun rights and our Second Amendment.